So guys, don't mind this or that. I just picked at my face. It's fine. So I said this on Instagram, but if you don't follow me over there, then I'm gonna say it over here too. So I've decided that I'm still gonna like vlog on here, but the more like triggering stuff where I'm talking about like numbers or anything like that is gonna be all on Instagram TV. So if you want that stuff, I don't know. Oh, I picked in my face right here too. It gets so red and splotchy when I do that. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically how we're gonna go forward with this channel, just because I feel like then I can control a little bit more who sees what, instead of just putting all that like triggering shit into the internet. Like I can just keep it in my little concise group, and then that way people can choose whether or not to watch it, and they don't have to like listen to it to hear about my life, like the rest of my life. So I don't know. I think that's what we're doing. I think I change this channel all the time. I just change it all the time. It's just whatever pleases me, honestly, day to day. So today is gonna be a little bit longer of a vlog because I have a lot to talk to you guys about, mainly because I don't have anyone else to talk to about it. But I hate it when YouTubers say this, but like if you follow me on Instagram, you kind of know this. But if you haven't, then I have been having a really hard time at this job. I'm a florist. I work in a flower shop. There are all my vases. There's my cooler. There's my dad's table, my front cooler. Like, I'm a florist. And lately it's been kind of bad. Like I had a fight with, it wasn't even really a fight. One of the girls that works at like our main location, I don't even know where to start. This is so complicated. Okay. So this store is like a smaller location of a bigger franchise in my area, and this is like the smallest store. So the big store, or Central, is like the delivery location, and that's where most of our money comes from. So like that's where they do all the deliveries, weddings, funerals, like most of the stuff. I'm kind of just here for dances and like walk-ins and stuff. But yeah, so one of the girls who works at the big location, I'm just gonna say her name, Taylor, she started coming over here to like cover for my shifts, because I get one day off a week besides Sundays. We're always closed on Sundays, but I get another day off every week, and she was coming in to cover the shifts that I was gone. And honestly, like, I'm a pretty nice person, and I don't want to sound like conceited or like, I don't want to sound ugly by saying that, but I think I'm a very nice person. I try and be a positive, nice, warm influence in everybody's life, because I didn't always have that in mind. So I just think it's important for my like life journey to be nice to people. It's pretty simple. So she came out here, and since I have so much anxiety about like starting new places or like being afraid to ask questions or anything, I'm very, I guess, overbearing would be like this zit also makes it look like my chin is 10 times bigger. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so when people come over to the store, I am a little bit overbearing when it comes to like telling them where stuff is, what to do. Like, I'll run through even the most basic stuff that someone who's been working here for a while like might already know. So I was like leaving notes for her on this board. That's like my whiteboard for work. I was like leaving notes for her, just saying like, hey, just a reminder, like this person's coming in for this order, or like I need you to order this for me so that I can do a wedding order the next day. And I didn't know this, but apparently she was taking the notes the wrong way. This is way too long of a story. I'm gonna try and make it smaller. Anyway, she was taking the notes the wrong way, so I started like texting her directly, trying to tell her, because again, like I didn't see her. She was covering the shifts that I wasn't here, so she like pretty much never met me in real life. But she was taking the notes the wrong way. She was taking the texts the wrong way. And one day I messaged her because it was like a week that I was doing a bunch of 12-hour shifts because one of my coworkers had a family member pass away, so I was like covering her shifts as well. And I came in one morning and like the cooler hadn't been filled, things hadn't been cleaned, the trash hadn't been taken out, like things just hadn't been done. And I got a little frustrated with her, and like, I don't know, I put up all the messages on Instagram, but like basically I was just like, hey, just so you know, like I'm working a lot this week. I need you to kind of like, when you're at the store, I need you to do the things that you need to do. Like I need you to be filling the cooler, I need you to take out the trash. Like basically just, I need you to do your job. But I was trying to make it sound like really nice, like I just need help, whatever. And she sent back this huge long message, like just livid with me. It's like saying, oh fuck, what did she say? At some point she was like, we all slack and I come in and I do my job and I've helped the stores so much. And then she like basically, I don't know, it's just a whole complicated thing. But basically, like, without trying to sound biased, like I had politely asked her to do her job, and out of that came so many messages between her and I that I started crying. I was like sobbing while I was here at work, like helping customers. I was crying. And my boss got involved because the other girl that I messaged like told the boss that I was being mean to her and I was like being condescending, which like I wasn't, but I got in trouble for it even though my boss didn't see the messages. And after I sent her the messages, she still was like on the other girl's side. But it's this whole thing. And the girl that I got in a fight with is kind of like my boss's like right hand man. Oh my God, I just wanted to stop being red. But they're like pretty good friends. So I get stuck out at this store and I'm fine. I like this store. I've been here for a year, but I started asking for training on weddings and funerals. Like I want to move up as a florist. I don't want to be in like I want to be doing more than I think I get paid like $10.50 an hour. Like it's not a lot, but I do a lot. And I basically, like, you guys see me, I'm pretty much here all the time. I kind of like run this store. Well, I started asking for like training on weddings, training on funerals. I asked my boss to come out to this store like she's supposed to, and she said that she would, and then she didn't. And it's basically been since like, I think we've been asking for wedding training since July, and it's January. So it just has kind of become apparent that even if my boss isn't trying to push me out, that I'm just not as appreciated as I would like to be in a job, which I know sounds really terrible and kind of like attention seeking, I guess. But at the same time, like I can do wedding orders, I can do funeral orders. I just don't have the official training, so I can't get any more raises. And my boss doesn't even come out here to see how well I'm doing for me to get a raise. And then that thing happened with that girl, and she started spreading that all around to all the other locations. So basically, even though all I did was ask that girl to do her job, everyone in the company now thinks that I'm a problem. And that, on top of the things I just said, like feeling underappreciated and not being able to move up in this business, I have decided to leave. So that was just an explanation on how bad my job has been. Like I told you, this was going to be a long one, so buckle up. So yeah, I've kind of decided that I want to leave. So yesterday I was kind of just like going through everything in my head. Like I think it's a little bit part of, I've been diagnosed with OCD before. I don't know if I necessarily have it, or if these are just like anxious repeating thoughts, but that my repeating thoughts is a part of the reason I was diagnosed with OCD in the past. But I basically get stuck in these like thought loops. And lately I've been getting stuck in thought loops about conversations I would have with girls here, like with my boss or with Taylor, like the girl I was having problems with. And that's just not a healthy thing for me. So I was getting stuck in this like cycle of thinking of like, what would I say to them? Like, I want to make them feel bad, but I also want to be like the nice person and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was just going back and forth. And I decided that I had to, you know, I knew I wanted to leave, but seeing what it's doing to my mental health and like me being medicated has made me a little bit more clear-headed about this job. So yesterday I was like going through all those conversations in my head, and I just realized like it's not worth my time. It's not worth my energy. Like, I'm fully planning on moving to Canada this year, 2019. Like, it's gonna happen. I'm already starting to save money to get like my immigration shit all handled, but like it just isn't worth my energy worrying about something so small. Like, I feel like worrying about my boss and my coworkers at this store in particular is just very narrow-minded, if that makes sense. Like, I'm growing so much as a person and I have so many larger goals that this just seems kind of like superfluous to go through. Like, it just feels excessive. Like, I just don't need to be worrying about it. I don't need to be putting my energy into it. They don't like me. Who gives a shit? Like, who cares what somebody thinks of me in like some mid-level job in Utah where I'm not even going to be living by the end of the year? So basically, I decided to leave. Yesterday, I was going through all those like cycling thoughts. See, and you guys can see I've started and stopped and started and stopped conversations all over the place. That's like my brain. I don't know if it's OCD. Anyway. So I decided that I wanted to leave, and I've kind of like idly been applying to places, but I haven't heard back from anyone. And yesterday I applied to another flower shop that's like kind of close to my house. Like, this flower shop is about 25-30 minutes away from my house, like on the freeway. And this other one is like 5 minutes down the road, just taking like a normal street. So it's a lot closer, but I sent in my resume and my portfolio, and she replied to me within like 10 minutes and said that I could come in for an interview today. So today at 4:30, I have an interview with another flower shop, but I'm really like, So, long-term goal, it's better for me to have 2 flower shops on my resume, just so it shows that like I'm not only good at this place, like I'm not only good at the flower patch, like I can work with other florists. So that'll be good, like trying to get a florist job when we move to Canada, just having more on my portfolio. At this new place, it sounds like I might even be able to do weddings, which is like huge. Like, basically, if you're a florist, you want to get into weddings. That's like the end game, essentially, because that's where most of the money is in the flower industry. So I have an interview today, but I'm like, I'm just nervous. It's only part-time, and I don't know how much the pay is, and I don't really want to take like a pay decrease right when I'm trying to move to Canada. Also, it's January. Valentine's Day is in 41 days. I don't know if it'll be backwards for you, but it's in 41 days. So, like, I would be leaving this job right before Valentine's Day. And the girl that I work with is, like, my best friend. Honestly, she really is. And I don't want to, like, leave her. But I don't know. It's weird. I've never gone from one job to another within the same profession. Like, I've always switched from like food industry to customer service, or like customer service to daycare. Like, I've never done one where I was going like, now I'm going from a floral job to another floral job. And like the thing I'm most nervous about is telling my friend, like my coworker, because I don't want to ditch her right before Valentine's Day. Like, I could give a shit about my boss and about the central location and about Taylor. Oh my God, also another thing next week. all the girls that work at this location have vacation off. So, or at this location, yeah, have vacation planned. So I'm going to be with the girl that I got in that fight with for like all of next week. So that's going to be fun. That's kind of what triggered me to apply to jobs. I was like, because there are so many people who work at the Flower Patch, like work at this company. And there are so many people who work night shift at this company, and so many people who have and would work out here for a couple days. And of course, my boss had to schedule the one person that like doesn't like me and has systematically gossiped about me to every other location. Like there's this girl who works at the central location named Diana, and the last time one of the girls that works at this location with me was at the central location, Diana, this girl who has never met me in my life, started talking to like one of the girls that knows me and was like, oh yeah, Kayla, like I've heard she's such a problem. Like she's like, she said, I don't know exactly what she said, but she basically said like, yeah, oh, Kayla's such a problem. Like I've heard she's really mean. And the girl who was like, knows me was like, no, actually, like Kayla is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I was like, girl, thank you for saying that, defending my honor. But like, people who have never even met me have opinions on me. Like, I don't know, I just don't think that Taylor, that girl who's gonna be coming out here who I had a problem with, is necessarily gonna be nice to me next week. Like, I don't know, maybe not schedule us together or something and make us overlap for an hour. Like, I'm scheduled until 3 and she comes in at 2, so I'm gonna be stuck here for an hour with her. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. This is what I'm talking about, is like long-term goal, it makes sense for me to go to another flower shop. Like, but money-wise, it might not make sense. And I'm so hung up on like the teeny little details of everything, like what I'm gonna say to my boss, what I'm gonna say to my coworkers, like money, like I'm leaving right before Valentine's Day, like how are they gonna, you know, like I'm genuinely nervous about how all the girls at Central are gonna see me and how they're gonna gossip about me, and I shouldn't fucking care because I'm not gonna be living here in a year. Like, why do I care so much about what they think? And it's giving me cold feet a little bit, which makes me kind of mad. Like, I don't want to give these girls who I won't know and I don't care about so much power in my life. Like, I literally want to skip the interview. Like, I don't want to go to the interview, but I have to. And I should, because it makes sense long term, but like my short term and like these little teeny, like insignificant things are making me not want to do it. And that sucks. And that's kind of just what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I was talking to Chris about it, and it's like, he was giving me good advice and just saying like, it makes sense for us moving to Canada. Like, you're going to have more experience and that's going to look better on your resume. And like, you don't even know what the pay is yet. Like, if it's a really bad pay decrease, I don't think I'm going to take it, just because we need to save money. And like, I can find another florist job that's not that hard. It's just like the timing of it, and this, I don't know if I already said it, but this job I'm interviewing for is only part-time. So I would either have to start working part-time here and at the other floral shop, or I would have to quit this place, work part-time at the floral shop, and like have Chris kind of support me for a little bit until I could find a second job. But like, see, I feel like it's throwing a wrench in all of my works. Like, it's throwing a wrench in my entire life. And it happened so fast too. Like, seriously, I was just pissed at my boss and like going through conversations with them in my head. And then I applied somewhere, and like 5 minutes later I had an interview. Like, that, I wasn't prepared for it. And like, I'm nervous, and I don't know. Like, it makes sense. I mean, I at least need to go to the interview. Like, I shouldn't burn that bridge, but it, you know, if literally the only thing is like cost, like if I don't get paid enough, then maybe I can come back when like money isn't as big of an issue. Because that's another thing too, is like, here I'm about to get into the busy season because it's almost February. So like, I'm about to start getting like 45, 50 hours a week, which is like 5 to 10 hours of overtime, which is like $15 an hour. So that could really help us save money for Canada. And it's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I know basically by the time you guys are gonna watch this, like my interview's already gonna be over, but you should comment down below and tell me what you think I should do, because I just need help. I haven't been oh God, I'm gonna run out of space. This has been a long video. Hey guys, how you doing? We're just chatting away. Fuck. But yeah, I don't know, I at least have to go to the interview. I'm gonna force myself to at least go to the interview, because it'll be good to kind of know what it's like to interview when you already have experience for a job, rather than like interviewing for a job you've never done before. But I'm just gonna have to really like kick myself in the ass and ask about the pay, because I didn't ask about it here and I got kind of fucked. Like, I thought that I was going from an $11 an hour job to this one, and this one was at $8.50, and I didn't ask. Like, I should have asked before I quit my $11 an hour job, but then I was here and I just don't want to go through that again. So going to the interview, I'm gonna force myself to ask about pay. If it doesn't pay enough, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Honestly, like, I think that's what's freaking me out the most, is I'm so used to having a plan and like knowing exactly what, like, being like, okay, if it goes this way, then I'm gonna do this. If it goes this way, then I'm gonna do this. But this is one of those things that, like, it's just gonna be a gut feeling that I have once I go in for the interview, like, whether or not it's a good place for me. It's just, it's honestly, and that's, oh my God, you guys, I've been getting so into magic again lately, and it's so awesome. But that's why I'm wearing these crystals today. So this one is orange calcite, and it's really good for just like bringing joy and happiness into your life. I have a minute left. And then this one is selenite. This is one of my favorites, and this connects you to like your angel and spirit guides and stuff. So I have them with me, and I have my happiness thing with me. So hopefully when I get to the interview, and I'm gonna go home and change too, but when I get to the interview, hopefully I'll know what I'm gonna do, and I'll just kind of know. Okay, I have 30 seconds left, and so I'm gonna go. Bye.